BoogeyMan band coming round the bend. Is BoogeyMan band. Is BoogeyMan band.
Greetings, my fellow fright fiends, and thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. I want to thank everyone for checking out this video. I know Scream is huge right now just because Scream 6 is kicking ass, and a lot of people are doing ranking videos. And I happen to be in driving distance to the locations from the original Scream from 1996. And about a week ago, I happened to be in the area of Sonoma where they shot the footage for Woodsboro High. It was famously shot at the Sonoma Community Center. And I said, you know what? Instead of just doing a ranking video here in the zone, which everybody has seen me do before, I thought I'd do one across the street from the actual location of Woodsboro High. So I was in my work vehicle. I actually just parked on the side of the road and did the ranking of the franchise. Now, the audio is a little funky, so there are going to be times where I had to sort of redo some of my dialogue just because of the cars going by. I did have the windows rolled up, but still, I'm on a busy street. But it was really kind of cool being there, and I'm glad that none of the neighbors said anything to me. I thought about going into the actual building, but there were people in there because it is a community center. It looks like they were having like band rehearsals and things like that, so I didn't go into the building. If you want to watch footage of the inside of the Sonoma Community Center, check out Grim Life Collective. They did they went to the location a couple years ago. I believe it was in 2021. They were on site at the location, and they actually went inside the building. I've been to the building before. I was there in 2014. And at that point, I just felt like my old footage of it wasn't that great. So I have, not only have I done a ranking, but I also did some on location and scene comparisons from the original Scream that I hope everyone enjoys. And final thing I want to do is showcase this amazing guy that I found. I actually found this guy. I was in Roseville having lunch after I had done a job for work, and I went to Best Buy, and they had two of these guys. And I had just seen my buddy Derek. You might know him as Halloween Fiend PDX or Shadow Play PDX. He just did a video showcasing all of his Scream collectibles, and he showcased this guy, and I was like, you know what, I really regret not picking this one up now, because not only does it have all of the Ghostface characters' weapons, but it also comes with like a scythe and various masks. So you have like the stab mask, so you can see the green right there, it has a bloody mask right there, and then it also has that zombie mask. Now, I have that original zombie figure that came out when Scream 4 came out. It's in my display case, and it's really hard to see. I tried to show it in my Tales from the Horror Zone episode last year prior to Scream 5 coming out, and it's just so hard to see because it's just sandwiched in between a lot of other figures. But got this guy for 35 bucks, and it was almost like I'm glad that Derek kind of reminded me about this because I have always regretted not getting it. Also, Derek, Halloween Fiend PDX, I want to congratulate him for hitting 5,000 subscribers. Derek's an awesome guy. He puts out a lot of fun content. Put a link down below for you guys to check him out. He's awesome, and we've become good friends over the last couple of years. So yeah, just want to thank Derek for that. I'm just going to roll into the footage here. I hope everyone enjoys it, and I'll come back for my closing thoughts. Here we go. Hey, fellow fright fiends, it's your buddy BoogeyMan Ben. So directly behind me is the location for Woodsboro High and Scream, the original Scream from 1996. Yeah, it's the Sonoma Community Center. I'll put the address right here. Yeah, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do not only my ranking now of the Scream films since Scream 6 has come out, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to do it right here in front of the building. I haven't been here. Last time I was here was in, let's see, we're going back to 2014. It's the last time I was here. And yeah, it's surreal being here. It's really cool. Okay, fellow Fright Fiends, so I'm going to try to do this quick because I am on the road where the school is. You can see it behind me, the Sonoma Community Center. Yeah, this is where Woodsboro High was in the original Scream. It was only shot, the first film was the only one that was shot here. But yeah, I'm just going to break down my ranking of the franchise. And I did this last year when Scream 5 came out.
Coming in at number 6 will be Scream 3.
That film is just so disjointed, too much comedy. I just felt like it was a little too silly, you know, with Jay and Silent Bob being in it. The reveal of the killer was interesting, but you know, I thought Roman was a good Ghostface. There's some great parts to it. I love the opening. I think Sydney's badass in it again. But just the comedy, Parker Posey just kind of, as much as I like her, I really didn't like her in the film that much. Also, it suffered from kind of being watered down because it followed the Columbine shooting in April of 1999. So, you know, they kind of watered it down. It didn't feel as hardcore as Scream 2. And then, of course, you know, Aaron Kruger actually did the screenplay based on a treatment by Kevin Williamson. The movie was originally supposed to take place in Woodsboro, moved it to Hollywood. It's cool. I still like watching it, but the lowest for me is always going to be Scream 3, so it is number 6. Number 5 is going to go to Scream 5. I have grown to appreciate it more over time. I do think that Radio Silence did a great job of paying respect to Wes Craven. There's a lot of great people in the film. I love, of course, Jenna Ortega. I love Dylan Minnette as Wes, which was a nice nod to the late great filmmaker. I think the Ghostface reveals, there was one that was predictable for me, but I love the setting at at Stu's house, and that it's a slow reveal, and there's a lot of little Easter eggs throughout the film that I've picked up more on repeat viewings. The big thing for me is that I just didn't feel like Sidney and Gail needed to be in it. I did think Dewey was badass. It's probably my favorite performance of David Arquette in the role. Number 5 for me is going to be Scream 5. Number 4 for me is going to be Scream 2. Like I've said before, I have a love-hate relationship with this film. Yes, I think it is a great sequel. I love the opening with Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett. But my big issue with Scream 2 has always been the death of Randy. I just felt like it was unnecessary. I did like that Liev Schreiber became a bigger part of this one. I also love Timothy Olyphant, and I think, again, Sidney is awesome. Nev Campbell really kills it in this one. And yeah, the Ghostface reveals I really was taken aback by. They were really, really good. And yeah, it's a great movie though. And I remember seeing it opening weekend in 1997. So yeah, I had a lot of good history with that one. But the death of Randy still, once that happens in the film, I'm taken out of it because I'm so pissed. So yeah, number 4 for me is going to be Scream 2. Number 3 for me, now this one is dropped just by one, and that is Scream 4. Love this film. I did a marathon and rewatched it. It's still a fantastic film. I love that they try to change things up with the opening. Again, it was Wes Craven's last film. I think that Jill is probably the most terrifying Ghostface reveal, just because Emma Roberts plays her so maniacally. Just the fact that it's back in Woodsboro, was the first film back in Woodsboro since the original, and you got an amazing cast in it with Anthony Anderson, Mary McDonnell, Rory Culkin, and of course Hayden Panettiere as Kirby. And you know, Kirby became a standout, and I love her in the film. And yeah, it's a great film. It's a lot of fun. It was great seeing these characters come back after, you know, it had been 11 years at that point since we had seen Scream 3. And unfortunately it wasn't a big hit, and we would have to wait another 11 years before the next film. And number 2 for me is Scream 6. Yeah, Scream 6 blew me away. I'm not going to talk too much more about it. You guys can watch my spoiler-free review. I still won't spoil anything, even though a lot of people have. But yeah, Scream 6 was a blast. I had so much fun watching it. I haven't had as much fun seeing a Scream film as I have seeing that one since the original. So it's like, it was just so much fun, and I love the new setting in New York. It just worked. Everybody in it was great. The cast that we have met in Scream 5 just elevated in this one. I mean, Jenna Ortega was already a stand-up, but Melissa Barrera and Mason Gooding, Jasmine Savoy Brown, all of them, the core 4, they were amazing. And the reveal kind of threw me off. I thought I had it figured out. I just loved the film. It was just so much fun, and Ghostface was absolutely brutal in this one. Cannot wait for part 7, because 6 has just put me over the moon, and I've really become invested in this series again. I just, you know, it's been tough because there was such a long gap between 4 and 5, but 5, you know, it was fun nostalgia wise, but 6 really put it over the top, and I just had such a blast with it. Everything about this film was fun, even though there are some times you suspend disbelief. Scream 6 was fucking brilliant. And number 1 for me is going to be the original Scream. Nothing can take that away. Something that, you know, one of the reasons why has to do with the fact that it was shot here. This isn't too far from where I live. I was actually on my way back from a work job, and this is on my way home. So I actually just took a little detour and came here. Like I said, you know, this was Woodsboro High, and actually a friend of mine, my friend Heather, was an extra in the film. So it's like, you know, it's in my backyard. So that first film, you know, it was shot close to where I live, so that has important meaning. And then just everybody in the cast was fantastic. Jamie Kennedy, Randy will always be my favorite character, but Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, Rose McGowan, Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Henry Winkler, the late great Russ Craven, and Kevin Williamson, and Drew Barrymore. I mean, there's so many people that made this film so great. And Roger Jackson, I have to say, Roger Jackson is an icon. His voice, the fact that he's been a part of all 6 films, the dude is amazing. And yeah, the films mean so much to me. I think it's the most consistent horror franchise that we have, which is amazing. Probably next to Saw, it's probably the most consistent. It's the most consistent horror franchise. And I love that these new directors, Radio Silence, they're paying respect and tying in things from that original trilogy and not just writing it off like we've seen with like the Halloween films and even to some extent the Friday the 13th films. Yeah, I cannot wait to see what they do with Part 7. And it's so much fun doing this breakdown of the Scream films in front of one of the locations from the original film. Just a blast. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this video on location at Woodsboro High or Sonoma Community Center. A lot of fun doing that. I was glad that no one in the neighborhood thought I was came up to me and said, "Get out of here, what the fuck are you doing?" But no, everybody was really cool. They I'm sure that they get it a lot, especially now that the new film is out. I'm sure there's probably a lot more people going to that location, just because it does still look like, it looks, with the exception of like the grounds looking a little bit different, it still looks identical to how it looked in the film in 1996. Kind of a little on location as well as a ranking of the Scream franchise, a franchise that I have just grown to love even more because of the new film. It's made me go back and rewatch all the films. I mean, I was a huge Scream fan in the 90s. I was disappointed with Scream 3, but I've gotten over that, and I just really appreciate this franchise for its consistency. It doesn't disregard the other sequels as they've picked up new films these last couple of years, that they're respecting what's come before and just sort of carrying it on instead of disregarding it. So much respect to those filmmakers, and I'm glad that they've turned me around on the Scream franchise, and I'm grateful that I was able to find this guy. But thanks so much everyone for watching, and I promise I will talk to you again real soon. Take it easy, stay scared as always. Fellow Fright Fiends, just want to say thank you again for supporting BoogeyMan Ben's Horror Zone. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification so you're updated every time I drop a new video. I typically do this once or twice a week with new content. Been doing this for over 11 years, and the horror genre is a passion of mine, and it really means a lot to me that I can share that passion with all of you guys. Thanks so much again for the support, and I'll talk to you again later. Take it easy, stay scared as always.